How you doing, Lee?
Fine. How was your Thanksgiving?
Very nice, thank you. Aaron and David came in town, and Joy was here.
Oh, cool.
Nice time.
Did you raise a turkey this year?
No, no more turkeys. No, I can't do it.
Hmm.
So bought one from some farm.
Mhm. Hey, Maura.
Oh,
Hey, Gene.
no.
So I got Pam and Jim said they weren't coming. Um, yeah, well, people will come in. We have a quorum. 7:01, meeting started. Um,
Attendance,
I'm sorry, what?
attendance.
Yeah, everybody state your name. Lee Wessler here.
Crystal Adams here.
Laura
Sure.
Roby. Jean Pillow.
Gordon Stern here.
Okay, and no alternates to seats. Has anyone had a chance to look at the minutes? And is there a motion for approval?
Where did they go?
They're
I had them open. I was looking at them.
okay. You misspelled Grange.
Is Grace not coming tonight or?
The only two I got emails from were Jim and Pam. I don't know.
Well, I'll move that the minutes be approved.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Hi.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Okay, my God, there's no public. What's going on?
There may be someone coming in later. Leila Phillips said she has classes, but when her classes are over, she's going to try to log in.
Okay. Grace isn't here, but I assume the treasury has what it did last month.
Well, some people went to Cacuic, so there might have been some deductions for that.
Yeah, but
Oh, here's Grace.
here's Grace
Ask her yourself.
connecting to audio. She's here on her cell phone. Hi, Grace.
As usual, my computer problems are transferring over to getting onto a meeting. So
I'm
as you
sorry.
can see, I'm on the phone.
Okay, we're up to treasurer's report. Anything to report?
Uh, normally are $1,914 in the regular, and 2161.22 is what I got from Diane today. I think she did a quick accounting, and it's not quite as correct as it should be, but I will check that next week.
Okay.
But I would be a pain in the neck and ask you to let me know who's here.
Yeah, well, it's on the recording, but me, Maura, Jean, Jordan, Crystal, and our esteemed treasurer.
Cute.
Whose name I shall not speak.
Uh-huh.
Any questions for Grace? Oh, I spoke. Okay. I have stuff to talk about, but it's all under old business.
Okay.
Any communications?
No, there were none.
Okay. Well, okay. Old business. DRC, Gene?
I have reviewed nothing, but I became aware there's a public hearing in process on a proposal to open a wedding venue at Woodstock Sustainable Farms, or whatever its current name is. The access to the farm is a Pulpit Rock Road, which is our oldest scenic road. And there's, the concerns are that that person would contact me was that Pulpit Rock Road is not suitable for traffic for people going to weddings. And I didn't review it because I hadn't seen it. I missed that month because of COVID. So we possibly should meet to review it.
Yeah, I got the minutes for the P and Z today.
Yeah, I just read them.
Yeah, so they're concerned about buses. But yeah, so I mean, if we're gonna do it, we have to ask John Navarro his opinion too.
John retired.
He retired?
Yes, he did.
Okay, that's gonna be interesting.
Crystal, who's the new highway foreman?
Jason Scranton. John's retirement has been known about for, the last 2 years or so.
Okay,
And Jason has been acting as the assistant foreman and learning the ropes. And John is still staying on, as advisory as needed. So he'll still be able to provide assistance to Jason where needed.
okay. Any questions for Jean? Crystal, open space.
Nothing to report.
Okay, P and Z, we mentioned Pulpit Rock. They're still looking at the 3-house subdivision, Woodstock Inn, but we're not asked to review that. Ag Commission report. Grace?
I was not able to attend.
Okay. And anything stewardship wise?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Crystal Sustainable I'm sorry, Gene Pollinator Pathway.
There have been no new activities in the pollinator pathway front this month.
Good, love it. Crystal Sustainable Connecticut.
Nope, nothing to report.
Then Grace, the Exit Grange event, that's still on the old business?
That should be under pollinator pathway, and we were going to dedicate the pollinator garden, but I got COVID and had to cancel it. I haven't rescheduled it yet. And now
Okay.
I would like to ask the group, do you think we should do it this year or wait till spring?
Well, I think seeing as we're talking about snow, we might want to do it in spring.
Who's talking about snow?
I'm not talking about snow.
I'm seeing
Channel 8 or
45
whatever.
degrees, 50 degrees.
No.
I did drive by the pollinator garden, and Amy had gotten the wood chips spread, so that's really nice. She's been an awesome partner to work with on this project. So there's room to expand it if people want to add on to it. So maybe if we hold off until spring for the dedication, that would make sense.
Maybe
Maybe
better.
kick off for the program for next year.
Okay. And on to Eversource. Gene, did you happen to see the strings of emails that I've been CCing?
Well, the way it comes through on Gmail, I don't know which is the start and which is the
I
end
know.
of a string.
Okay.
But I apologize. I couldn't give you more information than you asked
Okay.
for. I was having trouble writing sentences at that point. And
Okay.
so did we get a reply?
Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten multiple. So here's the synopsis. So I've been in contact with Jay. I've been in contact with Nicholas Velsibor. Did I mention him last time? The Council on Environmental Quality. So it happens after, I guess after our last meeting. I couldn't have mentioned. So like literally the next day, I get a patient who works for the Council on Environmental Quality. So I contacted him with concerns. I contacted Jeff Gordon, who offered his help, and Bill Rathbone, Eversource. So I've been going back and forth. So Eversource's response to the tree plantings are they're in contact with Bill Rathbone. But they actually I contacted Bill and they hadn't been in contact with Bill, and I wrote an email to the Eversource people, and finally they contacted Bill, and he said that he's going to talk to them about the plantings, but that the 171 project, we were told the DOT is responsible. But Bill said that they never mentioned that to him or Jed. So that's something to keep in mind. But I gotta find the, Bear, give me a sec here. Trying to find the right reply. Okay, so here's the vegetation management from Eversource said, the Eversource arborist has reached out and discussed replanting on Child Road, as well as other matters within Woodstock Tree Warden. However, they have not received an update on the planning requests. John Navarro was to make the final decision on replanting in the public right away. He did not want anything planted due to line of sight and other public safety issues. So as far as Eversource is concerned, this is a decision that needs to be made between the John Navarro's, or John Scranton, I guess now, and the tree warden. So I don't know if John Navarro is not the DTPW anymore. I'm not sure how he got to make the decision not to do the planning.
I think that was prior to his retirement.
Well, would have been within the last few weeks, I imagine.
No.
No? Okay. So the Bill Rathbone apparently is on it as far as the replanning. He's aware of Brickyard now, but we're left with 171 and the danger storm runoff now poses to the streams, and are concerned about erosion of the riparian buffers. So I contacted Nick, who sent me a state statute that said each utility intending to conduct vegetation management in a town or borough in the state has to provide plans to the chief of town official or the tree warden. And Bill Rathbone said they never said anything to us. So basically, the Eversource says it's the DOT's decision, and they decided that there was nothing wrong with what they did. I mean, in so many words, they basically said, it's not our responsibility, it's the DOT, and they didn't want anything done. So then I sent a new letter last week. I sent the statute and asked them to respond to the statute, and they never did. So last night I sent another letter off, included Jeff and, you know, all the town officials, and asked Eversource, you know, as you know, the Conservation Commission, and it turns out I'm chair of flood and erosion control. So, like, you know, if
That's all right. That's what the chair gets to be. Yeah.
Yeah. I said, you know, as the chair of the Conservation Commission and the erosion control, what's the plan of action to prevent erosion from the riparian buffer? And as yet, I haven't heard anything. So if I don't hear anything in a few days, I'll just email Jay. I'm going to give Nick a call because he said he doesn't have any he can't implement any actions. They're just an advisory committee, but I'm hoping he can steer me to the right people. And if worse comes to worst, Jeff said his office would be open to investigating the matter. So that's where I'm at right now. Any comment or any advice from you guys?
First of all, thank you for staying on this, because it's just that, you know, it's not my job. Everybody's saying it. In the meantime, they like cut down trees on steep slopes next to water bodies, which is very bad practice. So yeah, we need to stay on them and hopefully make an example of you know, David versus Goliath, I guess, if you will. But, you know, I really think they need to have some kind of replanting plan. They should have at least put down grass when they cut those trees down.
Correct. So I'm taking your advice, you know, and as the chairman of both commissions, I'm gonna, you know, I'll run with that, because Eversource obviously, they were supposed to let the town know. That was the agreement. They didn't. And now they're saying DOT doesn't care, and, you know, it's not an important concern. But, you know, it violates the state statute. So we shall see. Okay.
What a mess.
Yeah. So that's that.
Can't wait for them to start the next road. That's sarcasm.
They said they're done with 169. That's one of the emails that I got. So
I don't know that I noticed any changes. I don't know. Interesting.
So I don't think we're gonna have new trees planted if DPW doesn't want trees replaced because line of sight issues, which I think silly.
Yeah, it is. I know from experience that the scenic roads where they have trees right up to the side of the road is not favored by our public works department. However, it slows traffic down. If they're, you know, people are worried about hitting a big tree, the line of sight makes them slow down. And it really is unfortunate that they don't want new trees planted in those areas, because it's going to have impact beyond water quality. It's going to make people drive faster, where we already have issues with people driving too fast and too many fatal accidents.
Yeah, but also Child Road has no traffic. You know, what's he worried about line of sight on Child Road for?
And why is DPW suddenly making the decision? I thought it was up to the tree warden.
Well, when it comes to who manages the right of way, it is the Public Works Department that does that. They get that Tasmanian devil thing. I don't know if they've got something new, but for a while they were using this thing that was just shredding all the small seedlings.
Oh, I know.
It wasn't a neat
awful.
cut at all. It just looked like the Tasmanian devil went down the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
And so they've been maintaining that area treeless unless the trees were pre-existing and there was a scenic road ordinance saying you can't cut them down. It is their preference to keep that line of sight. In some cases for driveways, you need to have, or, any place that, exiting onto the road, you do need to have a line of sight, but you don't need to have it everywhere, especially on little roads like Tile Road.
They also said there's no plan to use herbicide in any of the projects that were done so far. Were they supposed to remove the stumps?
No, they were going to leave the stumps in place. That was their erosion control plan.
Okay.
But
So
those stumps are going to degrade. They're not going to be there forever. And if they're going to just keep cutting down all the vegetation, like they do with that cutter, the mower that they use, the town has, the state has them too. And they'll go along the sides of the roads and just cut everything down.
well, I think the riparian buffer is definitely a matter of utmost importance. Okay, so moving on to the other old business, Ken Woe's legal. I've been in contact with him, and he actually he's given a talk at UConn, and it was very well received. And he'd like us to I talked about this last meeting, but he wants to go forward with it. He'd like to sponsor a meeting where we can invite other conservation commissions from the area to the talk. And he said Wednesday nights are good for him. So I figure we probably should wait till after the holidays. Does anyone have any thoughts about a Wednesday night?
Wednesday nights are generally good for me. He wants to do a live meeting because he doesn't have all the permissions to use the things. It's really hard to schedule a meeting in winter because then you have to schedule a snow date. So that's my thought.
So is
Virtually,
He doesn't want to do virtual because it can get reported, and when you do a PowerPoint and you're using somebody else's work, you have to get permission from them or properly cite where the information came from. And I don't know, from what I've heard, I've not seen his previous presentation, but he had concerns about that kind of copyright infringement.
I thought, I didn't see the first presentation, but I thought the feedback to him from this commission was that it was a little too much doom and gloom. And
Yeah.
so he was gonna like redo it. So you're saying he redid it and did it at UConn?
yes.
Oh, so okay, because some of us wanted to see it again, but is that what he's saying? This is another meeting where we'll invite other people to? Okay.
Yes. So
Yeah,
he'd
that
like
sounds
to
good.
roll it out, and I had a private meeting with him where I gave him all our advice, and I guess he ran with it, and UConn was very impressed. And so should I tell him wait till spring, or is that what you guys are suggesting because of the weather?
I mean, he can try. I mean, we hardly get snow anymore with climate change. So
Yeah.
this
Yeah, well,
probably
there you go.
We're supposed to get 2 big ones
when?
in the winter.
That's the woolly bear.
That's what
What?
the El Nino, the
Oh,
weather.
I hadn't heard that. I heard
Yeah.
it was, yeah,
It's gonna be warmer.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get 1 or 2 big storms.
so when we
There'll
get
be
'em-
less snow in general, but 1 or 2 big hits.
I mean,
Well,
I'd
that's
like to,
probably the way our rain has been working.
do you know, Lee, what, who at UConn he presented this to? Was it the Natural
Yeah,
Resources Department? I'm just curious.
Okay, I got the wrong college. It's Eastern,
Oh,
not UConn, Eastern.
Ah,
Some college in Connecticut.
Yeah, in Eastern Connecticut.
They all run together.
ECSU.
so do
Bill
you
Mc-
know,
Bill
I
McKibben.
don't, what? Bill McKibben?
Yeah,
No way.
yeah.
That's that famous guy from Vermont. He's not at Eastern. He's very famous for economics and climate change. He's a big you guys haven't heard of him? He's huge with is it Indivisible? I don't know. No, his it's one of those.
Does he have Bill?
Anyway,
No, it can't. It
is it?
can't be. He has the name
Can't be
Bill.
Bill McKibben.
That's the title of his email to me. Is Bill McKibben. Maybe he was in contact. Maybe this may be the string we're on. He must have been in contact with Bill McKibben.
Wow, that's pretty cool. He's very famous for his linking economics to climate change as a way to try to get people to pay attention. But anyway,
And then Dr. Dixon Cunningham at Eastern.
do you know where he would want to have if he was to have it? Is he planning on having it at Eastern again as like a central location?
No, he'd like to have it at the Woodstock Town Building,
Town
and
Hall.
we invite regional other conservation commissions.
Oh, well, I was asking because if it was somewhere like that was, some people might not want to travel to Woodstock, but
Well, there's a possibility if we had a big crowd, and I don't know we would, we can hold about 100 or so at the town hall in the big meeting room. And if we had a bigger crowd, we work with Woodstock Academy to use one of their auditoriums.
Yeah, or the middle school where, the cafeteria, I guess. Right? Where we have town meetings. I doubt we're going to get, if we get 50 people, that would be great. So anyway, do you have any, question, so we're going to do it. Should we do it? What month, what time do you think would be the best time to do it?
Well, if he wants to do it soon, it's okay with me.
Okay.
I mean, not December, but
No, if January or something.
February, March.
March.
March?
Yeah, I
Right.
think so.
That's probably when we'd be kicking off Pollinator Pathway again.
So first week of March? Before Ramadan?
Sounds good.
So Wednesday, March 6th. And then Grace, do you have do you have any of the links from the Conservation Consortium with other, or do you have any idea how to contact the regional conservation commissions?
I have some people's contact information, like Judy Rondo is chair of Thompson. They're trying to get a conservation commission going again in Pomfret, so Maureen Nicholson would be the person to contact. I have contacts in Eastford, Ashford.
Oh, okay. So if you can share.
Wellington.
Well, there.
And
Hey,
then I think,
Lee, this is Crystal. Before you go advertising this, please check with Judy and Christine to make sure that room is available for that day and time.
okay, yeah, obviously, yes, thanks.
I looked up the information for William Dixon Cunningham at Eastern. I have a phone number and an email address. If I can tell Maura wants to vet this presentation. So with something you said about, well, we kind of want to see it before we have other people see it. So I mean,
I did? I didn't say that.
I was reading between the lines. The way you said it made me
No.
think that Shouldn't we see it first? Is how I heard it.
No.
No, I was
I'm
just
misreading you.
saying I hadn't seen it, but I do want to see it.
And then if we could like take $50 out and buy, light refreshments, that probably would be good. Grace, can you contact?
Can
Gene.
you have refreshments in the town hall? Crystal?
What's the question?
What was the question, Jean?
Can you have refreshments at the big meeting room at the town hall?
If we clean up really well after ourselves.
Okay, 'cause I remember there was a time where you weren't allowed to.
Yeah, I think we can do that if we clean up really well. But generally, we don't.
Yeah, but if we're inviting guests from outside, it would be nice. I mean,
I think it's a
nothing,
good idea.
yeah, nothing extravagant. Grace, can you check on the room?
Sure.
Thanks.
We're
Okay, good.
talking what? You're
March 6th.
talking March 6th,
Yeah,
and we're
1 p.m.
hoping not to have a snow date.
You can still have snow in March. Trust me, I've run against it.
7 p.m. March 6th.
yeah.
What's the gentleman's name again?
And
Ken
Wolf's legal?
Wait, you Googling him?
No, I was gonna write it in my notebook.
Okay.
Let me see if I can,
You Googling them?
Mhm.
I do that, but not this time.
I think he's legit.
Yeah. I mean, communicate, if he's
Yeah.
talking to Bill McBibbin,
Yeah,
like,
that's fancy.
Yeah.
I'm just joking around.
I know.
I'm getting a little punchy.
So I
Are
guess
you,
need the
Maura?
name of the
Uh,
talk and the speaker and put together a flyer.
well, I think just emailing it.
For what?
Yeah, we'll email the contacts we have.
Well, that's it. I was going to ask, Maura or Jean, are you guys still at the Wolf Den site at all?
Well, technically, yes.
Wolf Den Road?
Only because that's where the regional conservation group was. And I have not heard from them or anything else in a very long time. I was just wondering if they still met there.
The Conservation Consortium?
Maybe.
No, they would have contacted me. That's,
I
since
think they
COVID.
kind of fell apart because of COVID.
Yeah.
But this could be something to get it reinvigorated, possibly.
True, yeah. Very good. So we got some good plans here. Any other comments, concerns?
Will the public be invited to this or just conservation commissions?
Let me ask Ken. I'll ask Ken, because it may change the way he does the presentation. Anything else? So moving on to new business. So who went to Kakiwik?
I did.
How was it?
It was good. It was very nice. It was at a new facility that I guess isn't quite finished or ready. The lunch was pretty messed up, but they didn't have as much. There was a lot more focus on inland wetlands and the laws for inland wetlands people, which was a little disappointing. But they did have, I mean, they had, nice, good speakers, and the food when it got there was fine, but it's very, very well attended by a lot of different towns. Supposedly, 2 people from inland wetlands in our town were supposed to be there. I don't know if they were or not. I didn't run into them. But, well, I wouldn't have known them if I did. But as I say, there was a lot of interest in laws pertaining to inland wetlands. I did attend one talk, and the gentleman was very good at pointing out to people that although we are only advisory commissions, we can get people involved and hopefully excited about what we do. He was, as I say, he was very dynamic. And of course, I don't have his name right now, but it was, I still think it's a pretty good conference, in attendance, and they're always asking us as participants to come up with ideas for new speakers. And hopefully people will do that, but other than that.
Any other people attend conferences, or is anyone aware of any upcoming conferences?
This is Crystal speaking. There is an upcoming workshop, Freedom of Information training this Thursday at 7 at the Woodstock Town Hall. And that's something I've sent out to all of the board and commission chairs and asked them to pass along, because Tom gives out a lot of good information about, the FOI rules regarding boards and commissions and how they meet and handle themselves.
Yeah, I forward your thing to everybody.
Great. I hope some of you can join us.
Okay, and then we have volunteer hours for Last Green Valley requests. Jean or Maura?
Actually, Grace sent that to me. Every year, the Last Green Valley asks any organization that's been involved in conservation work to give an estimate of the time they spent doing that work. And at a rate of $34 something an hour, they can use our time as match against the money they get from the National Park Service. So Grace asked me how to figure that out, because I just finished my big match report to Last Green Valley for the money I had to match. Basically, we every meeting we have, times the number of people were there, all constitutes match. So if we had a meeting for an hour and a half and there are 6 people there, that's 6 hours of match times that 34 or whatever. So to make this report, we need the attendance from our meetings, from our minutes, times, how long the meetings are. They're typically an hour, 15 minutes. And then we did other work besides that. We did the Woodstock work. It was July, August, when I was at the Grange for a few hours. Locally grown day or something. I was there doing the pollinator pathway outreach. Grace set up and Jordan was at the one with the Grange too. That's 2 people went to celebrate Agriculture Day, so that's match. We had donations for the pollinator garden. That's match. We had volunteers help us plant that garden. So all those people times the amount of time we spent there, that's match. So I mean, so all that stuff is, you just make a spreadsheet and kind of add it up and then send it down to whoever's collecting the data. Is it Lyanne or something? And that they just add it into their big spreadsheet that they report to the National Park Service. So Crystal and Rebecca spending 2 days at that workshop from American Farmland Trust and the grant that the town got, that would count as match to doing the mission of the Last Green Valley, even though the Last Green Valley didn't have any part in that.
We were getting paid some money.
Excuse me?
You said it's matched, we
No.
get paid money?
No, it's in-kind service.
Ah,
So we are performing in-kind service, so we're not getting paid for what we do. But all the in-kind service we do has value. And that value given to the Last Green Valley helps to support their importance to the National Park Service and to Congress. So for every dollar that the National Park Service gives to the Last Green Valley to conduct its mission, this is how much other activities happened outside of that money. So it was, so it's a grant thing. Does that make sense?
So you need all these people you mentioned to send you their hours, or what, or?
Well, all the hours would be in the attendance at our meetings, right? They start at a time and they end at a time. So there's the time factors there. So we met 12 times in this. It's a fiscal year, so it goes from October 1, 2022 to September 30, 2023. So we met in October, November, December, and so forth. There are people at the meeting. The meetings lasted so long. There's a match value to that. You add that all up. And then I have notes from who attended at the events that I held. So I can jot those names down and how long we spent doing stuff. I know how much money was donated to our pollinator garden. So that's matched. That's a cash match to that we add up to what our match value is. That's we haven't really done any work. You've done a lot of letter writing, Lee. But all the time you spent letter writing is about the trees, is a match for the Last Green Valley because they're all about maintaining our green spaces. So if you can estimate how many hours you spent writing letters, it doesn't have to be exact. Nobody's going to check it. But, this whole thing, all the meetings we had about the trees in this calendar year, that past calendar year, is all match for what the Last Green Valley does.
So you're asking all the members to email you with the time that they spent?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
So
Everybody good with that?
it's just how it works in the grant world. I mean, Maura has her own data sheets to match for her projects. I have mine for my projects. And then Last Green Valley asks us to help fill theirs out because they definitely need to show that they have an impact on preserving natural resources in the Last Green Valley.
Okay. So everybody, any questions for Jean?
there are hours, Gene.
You just got her hours. Okay, moving on to open discussion. Maura?
As far as the dirt roads thing, I thought we were gonna add that as a item, but anyways, it's okay that we didn't. I'm pursuing, trying to see if they can do a better job with the dirt roads and the runoff into wetlands. And so when I heard that John Navarro was retiring, I figured I'd wait a little bit to not overwhelm this new person. And I did talk with Dan Milo, who's the inland wetlands person. And he said I should come to a wetlands meeting and they could talk about it. But I think I'm going to wait at least until January just to do a little more. I need to get some information from Jean and just do a little more research to be prepared for that meeting, so.
Do
But-
you want
so-
us to put it, do you want us to put it on as an agenda item?
Yeah,
bit.
probably in January, starting in January. Cause I
Okay,
think
just
this is
remind
gonna,
us next
it's gonna
month.
be a project, you know, it's gonna be ongoing. It's not gonna be
Yeah.
one and done. I assume. And my other comment, if anyone hadn't noticed, is that, the next meeting falls on December 25th, so,
Yes, I was gonna get to that.
okay.
So now that you brought it up, we can meet, I don't know, Christmas night, do you guys still have dinner?
No,
I
No.
have
Tu-
the
Tuesday's
meeting-
Kwanzaa, so Tuesday's
Hold
out.
on.
Yeah,
I have the meeting scheduled for the 18th.
okay,
Oh.
race thought ahead.
Yeah,
all right, that works for me.
Jean?
Well, wearing my last Green Valley Water Quality Monitoring hat, we have been doing ripple bioassessments of small streams in Woodstock. I previously reported we went to Peckham Brook, and I believe we met the criteria for a healthy stream for aquatic life support. I've also done Peak Brook down in what part of Woodstock is that? Peak Brook goes down into Little River above the water treatment plant. And we did English Neighborhood Brook, which we felt we got a good sample there. And then last week I was on my own road on Safford Brook, and we had a very good sample there. So we're trying to document high quality streams in town and all over the Last Green Valley. And I have different projects in those two different watersheds, and it's just nice to be able to follow up on things that I said needed to be done and plans that I've written, and we had a good time doing it.
Hey. Jordan?
Nothing for me.
Crystal?
Nothing from me.
Grace?
nope, I'm good.
Okay, you took my thunder about the meeting, so anything else? Anything else for the good of the order?
Just for clarification, I will not be able to be at the December 18 meeting. I have a conflict.
Okay. So
Just
any-
as a note, I am requested to send in the entire year's dates long before,
Right,
as in November. So this has been on the books since last year.
yes.
Oh.
Anything else for the good of the order? And if there's not, is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Jordan seconds. Okay, meeting's adjourned. Thanks, everybody, and see you in a few weeks.
Yep.
Another record time meeting.
Yeah, we've done it quicker. Crystal, how was the travels?
The travels where?
Didn't you go for Thanksgiving?
Oh no, we stayed here for Thanksgiving. Usually we go to DC, but we
Right,
stayed
yeah.
we stayed here this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So-
'cause
Yeah,
I
we-
know you always go down.
I know we usually do, but no, we just wanted a nice quiet Thanksgiving, so it was just
Okay.
the three of us.
Good,
Hope you all
Okay.
had a good Thanksgiving.
yes. Time
All
off
right.
is,
Have a good night, everyone.
All right.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.